Hey guys, today we're going to be doing lesson 6-4, and your assignment is going to be to complete all the even numbers. So we're going to do all the odds together. All right, so the first thing we need to know here is that if a line is parallel to one side of a triangle and intersects the other two sides, then it divides the sides into proportional segments. So here we have this line that's going through the triangle. That's parallel to this side of the triangle, right? Therefore, it's creating two proportional segments on each side. So x and 32 are proportional, and 24 and 9 will be proportional as well. Make sure that you put the 9 on top and the 24 on the bottom. If you put the 24 on top, it's going to be wrong because you still need to match your corresponding parts. All right, so up at the top, I went ahead and wrote part of that statement down so that we can see what's going on. At this point, once we have our proportion set up, we will cross multiply. So I get 24x equals 288, and I divide by 24. And I get x is 12. All right, on number 3, if you look closely, one of the segments is missing right here. But I do know that the whole thing is 36. So if I take that and subtract by 20, I get 16. So this right here is 16. So now I can set up my proportion. I have 16, I'm going to start with that, over 20 equals, and I'm going to start with x plus 5 because that's across from the 16, over 30. And then I cross multiply. But actually, before I do that, I like to work with small numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce this fraction, 16 over 20. That reduces down to 4 over 5. So instead of using 16 and 20, I'm going to use 4 and 5. Now I'm going to cross multiply, and my numbers are going to look a lot smaller. So I get 5x plus 25 equals 120. And I get x equals 19. All right, for number 5, what I want you to do is pause this video and try to set something up and see if you come up with the same thing I did. All right, so your proportions should look similar to mine. If it doesn't look exactly like this, that's okay. All that matters is that when you cross multiply, you're still multiplying 3 times 2x plus 4 and 4 times x plus 7. So if your cross product is still those numbers that you're using, then that's okay. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. When I cross multiply 4 and x plus 7, I get 4x plus 28. And you should get 6x plus 12 when you cross multiply the other two. You should get x equals 8. All right, number 7, we're going to go ahead and ignore this problem. So just go ahead and mark it out and move on to number 9. All right, for number 9, we're trying to determine if segment ST is parallel to segment PR. So in the last few problems that we were working on, we knew that the lines were parallel. Therefore, we were able to set up a proportion. So now we have to work backwards. We can say, okay, well, set up a proportion, and if they are proportional, then they're parallel. First, I'm going to fill in this missing segment, which is 57. I got that by subtracting 102 from. Next, I'm going to set up my proportion. And the easiest thing to do is to cross multiply, because remember that in a proportion, the cross products are equal. So if I cross multiply 45 and 41.8 and 57 and 33, and if those are the same, then they are proportional. Hence, the lines are parallel. So let's see what we get. So we get 1881 for both of them. So because the cross products are equal, yes, the lines are parallel. For numbers 11, 13, and 15, we now have 3 parallel lines. And the 2 lines that are going through those parallel lines, remember that those are called the transversals. So what's happening is that when your transversals go through at least 3 parallel lines, then those transversals are getting cut into proportional segments. So it's the same idea that we've been working on. We can say that 25 is proportional to 48 and 30 with x. And remember that you have to start with 30 since that's what's across from the 25. And when we solve, we get x equals 57.6. You're going to do the same thing for number 13. So what I want you to do is pause the video and go ahead and try to set something up to see if you come up with the same thing that I did or something similar. So your proportions should have looked something like this. Now, if the numbers are a little different, just hold up and don't erase anything. As long as when you cross multiply, you're still cross multiplying the same numbers, that's okay. So 60 is being multiplied with 2x plus 6, and 32 is being multiplied with 52.5. So if it's still doing that, then it's okay. You don't have to set it up exactly like I do. And now before I cross multiply here, I don't want to cross multiply and deal with big numbers, so I'm going to reduce 32. Remember that reducing is optional because even if you don't reduce, you should still get the same answer. And we're going to do the same thing for number 15. The first thing I'm going to do is fill in this missing segment. The whole thing's 35, so if I subtract 20, I get 15. Now I can set this up, and the way I'm going to do it is just do 20 over 15, and that's going to equal 7x minus 11 over 4x minus 2. And you can go ahead and reduce this fraction if you want to. Remember not to forget that that negative sign to the left of the 8. You have to bring that down as well. A lot of people tend to forget that. So we should get x equals 5. And last thing before we're done, number 16 was similar to number 7 from the front that we omitted. But what I want you to do is just flip this. We're going to put the 4 here and the x minus 3 here, and so you shouldn't get an x squared if you cross multiply. All right, guys, thanks for watching.